Lovely viewers, take a deep breath and settle in because what we're about to talk about today is raw, emotional, and deeply personal. Song Hye Kyo, the queen of elegance, the woman who has graced our screens with timeless performances, has just opened up like never before. Her honest truth is shaking the internet, sparking conversations everywhere, and leaving fans across the globe rallying behind her with overwhelming love and support. The words she shared weren't scripted, they weren't glamorous, and they weren't sugar-coated, they were real. And that's what makes this moment so powerful, so unforgettable. She admitted with tears in her eyes and a voice heavy with emotion, "Motherhood broke me." Can you feel the weight of those words? Lovely viewers, this is not something we hear every day from celebrities, especially someone like Song Hye Kyo, who's always been admired for her strength, grace, and confidence. But in that vulnerable moment, she reminded us that behind the flawless pictures, the bright lights, and the red carpets, there is a human being, one who struggles, who hurts, and who sometimes feels like the weight of the world is too much to bear. Imagine this scene. A quiet interview room, soft lights casting a gentle glow, and Song Hye Kyo sitting there, looking as radiant as ever. But this time, her beauty isn't just on the surface. It's in her honesty, her willingness to peel back the layers and show us the scars we never knew existed. She takes a deep breath, her hands clasped tightly, and says those 5 words that echo like thunder. "Motherhood broke me completely." The silence that followed was deafening. Everyone in that room felt it. And now the whole world is feeling it too. Lovely viewers, let's talk about what this really means. For so long, motherhood has been portrayed as a journey filled with nothing but joy, love, and magical moments. But Hye Kyo shattered that illusion and spoke the truth that so many women are afraid to say out loud. She admitted that it wasn't easy, that it came with overwhelming pressure, sleepless nights, and moments when she questioned everything about herself. Can you imagine someone as accomplished and admired as Song Hye Kyo feeling broken? It's almost unthinkable, and yet, that's the reality for so many mothers who silently battle behind closed doors. And here's the part that really hit me, she said. "I felt like I lost myself. I wasn't just tired, I was empty." Lovely viewers, have you ever heard something so raw from her before? That emptiness she described isn't just physical exhaustion. It's emotional, mental, and spiritual. It's the kind of emptiness that makes you feel like you're drowning even when the world thinks you're floating. And when she admitted that, the internet responded in the most beautiful way possible. Hashtags like #WeLoveYouHyeKyo and #MotherhoodTruth started trending within hours. Fans from all over the world flooded social media with messages of love, empathy, and encouragement. Some shared their own stories of struggle, saying things like, "Thank you for saying what so many of us feel." Lovely viewers, can you see how powerful this is? In one honest confession, Song Hye Kyo gave a voice to millions of women who've been suffering in silence. She showed them that it's okay to admit you're struggling, it's okay to feel broken, and it's okay to not have it all together all the time. That is what real strength looks like. Not pretending everything is perfect, but standing in your truth even when it's messy and uncomfortable. But let's not stop there, because her honesty didn't just spark sympathy, it sparked conversation. People are now talking about the pressures of motherhood, especially for women in the spotlight. Imagine being a mother while the entire world watches your every move, judges your every decision, and expects perfection at all times. That's the reality Hye Kyo faced, and yet she stood there, baring her soul and saying, "This is me. This is my truth." Isn't that something we should celebrate? And then she said something even more heart-wrenching. "There were days I looked in the mirror and didn't recognize myself. I wondered if I would ever feel whole again." Lovely viewers, if that doesn't break your heart, I don't know what will. Because it's not just about physical changes, it's about identity. It's about feeling like you've lost the very essence of who you are while trying to give everything to someone else. And when she said that, the tears weren't just in her eyes. They were in the eyes of every mother watching, every woman who has ever felt invisible, and every fan who realized that even their idols aren't immune to pain. Now let's talk about the reaction. Celebrities, influencers, and even experts have joined the conversation. Some praised her for her bravery, calling her a beacon of truth in an industry obsessed with perfection. Others shared resources for mothers struggling with postpartum depression and emotional burnout. It's amazing how one woman's courage can create such a ripple effect, inspiring change and encouraging others to speak up. Lovely viewers, don't you think this is what the world needs more of? Honest conversations that break down unrealistic expectations. But here's what makes this even more emotional. After admitting how broken she felt, Hye Kyo also shared how she's slowly healing. She said, "I'm learning that asking for help isn't weakness, it's strength. And in those words there's hope. There's resilience. There's a message for every single person listening. You don't have to do it alone. You don't have to pretend you're okay when you're not. And you don't have to be perfect to be loved." Lovely viewers, let's pause for a second and really think about this. How many times have we looked at Song Hye Kyo and thought, she has it all? The fame, the beauty, the success. And yet, here she is, admitting that even with all of that, she struggled to find herself. Doesn't that make you realize that no one's life is as perfect as it looks on Instagram? That everyone, no matter how glamorous they seem, fights battles we know nothing about. Now, imagine what this confession will mean for other mothers out there. The ones scrolling through social media at 2 a.m., feeling exhausted, wondering if they're failing. The ones who cry in silence because they feel they can't talk about their struggles without being judged. For them, Song Hye Kyo just became a light in the darkness, a reminder that it's okay to not be okay, and that being honest about your pain is the first step toward healing. Lovely viewers, I want to hear from you now. How did her words make you feel? Do you think her honesty will change the way people view motherhood? Do you think it will inspire more women to speak their truth without fear? Share your thoughts in the comments because this isn't just a story, it's a movement, and I want us to be part of that movement together. Before we wrap up, let me tell you this. Song Hye Kyo's strength doesn't come from hiding her pain. It comes from embracing it, owning it, and turning it into something that can help others. And that, lovely viewers, is what makes her not just a star, but a true inspiration. The internet didn't just react. They embraced her honesty with open arms. And the energy around this revelation has been nothing short of overwhelming. This is no longer just about one woman speaking her truth. It's about millions of voices finding courage through her vulnerability. After her words went viral, something truly beautiful started happening online. Fans, mothers, and even fathers began sharing their own stories in the comments section. People wrote about nights filled with tears, days that felt unbearable, and moments when they, too, felt broken by the weight of parenthood. Can you imagine the kind of healing that comes from knowing you're not alone? Song Hye Kyo didn't just open up about her struggles. She opened a door for countless others to do the same. Lovely viewers, doesn't that give you chills? Because it gave me chills reading those heartfelt comments from strangers who finally felt seen and understood. But here's where it gets even more emotional. Celebrities and influencers from around the world are now stepping in to show support. Several high-profile stars reposted her interview clip with captions like, "Thank you for speaking what so many feel," and "Your courage is saving lives." One actress even admitted, "I cried watching this because I've been there too." And this, lovely viewers, is the power of honesty. It breaks walls, it unites people, and it reminds us that even the strongest, most admired individuals are human too. Now, let's go back to that moment in the interview because there's more to unpack. When Hye Kyo said, "I felt like I lost myself," her voice trembled just a little, and for a brief second, she looked down as if reliving those moments of pain. That tiny gesture, so small yet so powerful, spoke volumes. It told us that this wasn't just a passing thought. This was something that left deep scars on her soul. And when she added, "I'm learning that asking for help isn't weakness, it's strength," her eyes lit up with a flicker of hope, as if she was finally reclaiming pieces of herself. Lovely viewers, can you feel that? That's transformation in real time. What's even more heartwarming is how fans are turning her confession into something empowering. Social media is now filled with posts celebrating her bravery, with artwork, video edits, and letters thanking her for being a voice for those who can't speak. One fan wrote, "You gave me permission to stop pretending I'm okay," while another said, "You made me feel less alone in my pain." Isn't that incredible? A single confession creating waves of healing across the globe. But the story doesn't end here. Insiders close to Hye Kyo have revealed that this was not an easy decision for her. She debated for weeks before agreeing to open up publicly because she didn't want her vulnerability to be misunderstood. She didn't want headlines twisting her pain into gossip. And yet she chose to do it anyway, not for publicity but for authenticity. That choice, lovely viewers, is why people respect her now more than ever. Now let's imagine what this means for her future. Could this mark a turning point in her career, where she starts advocating for maternal mental health and supporting causes related to women's well-being? I wouldn't be surprised if we see her launching a campaign or collaborating with organizations to spread awareness about the emotional challenges of motherhood. And if she does, it will be one of the most meaningful contributions a celebrity has made to society in recent years. Lovely viewers, what do you think? Should she take that step? Wouldn't it be amazing to see her transform her pain into purpose? And let's talk about something we can't ignore. The silent question lingering in everyone's mind. Did she go through this struggle alone, or was there someone by her side? Fans are speculating about the role of family and friends during that difficult time, wondering if she had enough emotional support. Some even believe that her statement was also a subtle call for more empathy toward mothers everywhere. Not just in personal relationships, but in society as a whole. Because let's be real, lovely viewers. Mothers are often expected to be superheroes, to smile through the pain, and to carry the weight of the world without breaking. And Hye Kyo's words shattered that unrealistic expectation, reminding everyone that even superheroes need saving sometimes. Now let's picture this. After the interview aired, reports say that Hye Kyo spent hours reading the comments from fans, and sources claim she broke down in tears, not out of sadness, but because she felt an overwhelming sense of love and understanding from people she's never met. Isn't that beautiful? The same woman who once felt broken now realizing that her honesty has become a lifeline for millions. That's not just healing, that's redemption. Lovely viewers, I want to hear from you now. How does this make you feel? Have you ever experienced something similar, or do you know someone who has? Would you share your story to inspire others, just like Hye Kyo did? Drop your thoughts, your feelings, your love for her in the comments, because this conversation isn't just for me. It's for all of us who believe in the power of truth and compassion. Before I continue into the next phase, because trust me, we're about to explore some shocking revelations about what Hye Kyo plans to do next, I want to leave you with this thought. When someone as iconic as Song Hye Kyo admits that motherhood broke her, it doesn't make her weak, it makes her real. And in a world obsessed with perfection, being real is the bravest thing anyone can do. After shaking the internet with her heartfelt admission, people began asking one big question. What will Song Hye Kyo do next? Will she retreat back into privacy? Or will she take this moment and turn it into something bigger? Something that changes lives beyond just her own? Well, the whispers coming from inside sources suggest the latter. And it's something truly inspiring. Reports say that after her emotional confession went viral, Hye Kyo was approached by several global organizations advocating for women's mental health, postpartum care, and maternal well-being. These organizations want her to join hands with them to create campaigns that raise awareness about the emotional challenges women face after childbirth. Lovely viewers, can you imagine the impact this would have? Song Hye Kyo, a global icon, lending her voice to a cause that so many have suffered through in silence. That's not just a step forward for her. That's a revolution for every woman who has ever felt unseen and unheard. And here's where it gets even more beautiful. Insiders claim Hye Kyo is seriously considering these offers. They say she's been deeply moved by the flood of support she's received, and feels a responsibility to use this moment to help others. One source said, she realizes now that her pain can be someone else's hope, and she wants to be that light for them. Lovely viewers, doesn't that sound like the kind of transformation that turns pain into power? I can already picture her leading campaigns, speaking at events, and creating platforms where women can share their stories without fear or shame. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's talk about the global reaction because it's something we've never seen before. News outlets across Asia, Europe, and even the US are running headlines like, Song Hye Kyo breaks silence on motherhood struggles, and fans worldwide rally around Hye Kyo after brave confession. Talk shows are discussing it, podcasts are analyzing it, and mental health professionals are praising her honesty for breaking stigma. One well-known psychologist even said, Song Hye Kyo just did more for maternal mental health awareness in 5 minutes than most campaigns have done in years. Can you believe that? That's the power of speaking your truth, lovely viewers. Now let's go back to the woman at the center of it all, Song Hye Kyo herself. After sharing something so raw, many wondered how she's coping with the overwhelming attention. From what we've gathered, she's staying grounded by spending time with family and focusing on self-care. Friends close to her revealed that she's been journaling, meditating, and even exploring creative outlets like painting to heal and reconnect with herself. They say she's finding joy in little things again, like watching sunsets and listening to music that makes her feel alive. Doesn't that just warm your heart? Because it reminds us that healing isn't about grand gestures. It's about those small, quiet moments where you start to feel whole again. Lovely viewers, here's a detail that gave me goosebumps. Apparently, during one of her recent conversations, Hye Kyo said, I want my story to help someone else breathe easier. Just let that sink in for a moment. She's not doing this for attention, not for sympathy, but to give someone else hope. And that right there is why so many people adore her. Not just for her beauty or talent, but for her humanity. But let me ask you this. What does this mean for her career? Will she step back from acting to focus on advocacy work? Or will she continue to do both? Some insiders believe this moment could lead her to take on roles that reflect real-life struggles, roles that empower women and bring these conversations to the big screen. Imagine a drama where she portrays a mother battling the same emotional storms she just confessed to. It would be powerful, relatable, and deeply healing for so many. Lovely viewers, would you want to see her in a project like that? Because honestly, I think it would be groundbreaking. And now, the most emotional part of all. Fans have started creating tribute videos that are going viral. These edits feature clips of her crying during the confession, mixed with scenes of her strongest moments on screen, all set to soulful music. The captions read things like, You are not broken, you are beautiful, and your honesty saved me. Doesn't that just melt your heart? Some fans have even shared handwritten letters online, promising to stand by her no matter what. This isn't just fandom, it's family. It's love in its purest form, and it shows how much impact she has beyond the screen. Lovely viewers, I want you to picture this. Thousands of women around the world sitting at their phones, tears streaming down their faces, whispering thank you to someone they've never met but who just gave them strength. That's what this moment is all about. It's about connection. It's about breaking the silence. It's about healing together. And you, by being part of this conversation, are part of that change. Before we dive into the next part, because I'm about to share something exclusive about what her closest friends revealed regarding her future plans, I want to hear from you. Do you think this is the beginning of a whole new chapter for Song Hye Kyo? Do you think she'll use her platform to change the way we talk about motherhood forever? Or will she eventually step back and focus on her personal healing? Drop your thoughts because your voice matters in this discussion.